And away we go.
Our Loosey Goosey About Town. Welcome back, everybody. Big Daddy Russ Horton. I'm Leah with Leah Lywood. We're in the Georgetown studio today, and bringing you all your local news and fun little ideas or whatever is going on in Halton Hills. And we love bringing them to you, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in once again, doing these every week. Last week we were at Concept Leather with Zena and
The Birds,
Quinn.
and Quinn and the Birds.
Yeah.
And Quinn is coming, by the way. That's all I'm going to say. Did you see that picture of Quinn I put up there?
Yeah.
Quinn is coming, and we're not going to tell you what Quinn's going to be doing, but something very special in town.
Talk about a very spunky dog.
A beautiful dog.
That dog had so much energy, it was incredible.
Well, you know, I mean, you and I both know as losing dogs, when you see someone else's dog, it's always a pleasure, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why I have lots of friends with dogs, so I can go get my dog fixed there. Yeah. When I don't need to go home and deal with it. I'm actually allergic to cats and dogs, but I've had them all my life because you grow up with them, right? Like when we were a kid, we had 2 dogs, a cat, and
I was probably allergic too, just didn't realize it. Right?
I just a lot of the times didn't care.
No, it doesn't matter.
You fall in love with a pet. And
I'm hanging around with my best friend. I don't care. Watching TV in my underwear, watching the Blue Jays with my best friend. It doesn't matter. But welcome in. Don't forget that we're brought to you by Max Tires. They have the lowest prices on tires anywhere, according to Sean. And hopefully you have your snows on by now, because we're probably going to get another belt. We've had a little respite there for a while.
Yeah, we're supposed to, this Friday when we record this, but Saturday night and over into Sunday, we're supposed to get anywhere up to 5 centimeters.
Yeah, I know, because you're in the snow business now, aren't you? So you're clearing.
Once again, yeah.
And so, yeah, you be careful out there, too, I'll tell you. Now, Max Tires, of course, have an auto mechanics station downstairs with downstairs here, actually, at 61 Guelph Street. One of the most famous buildings in Georgetown, by the way. Used to be a gas station here, right on the corner. But that's where Max Tires is today, and Fred's Towing and Easy Taxi, and it's a busy spot, no doubt about it. So 905-873.
Even work on your food truck.
905-873-955. There you go. I'm kidding, Sean. I love bugging Sean. Forget your phone number. Don't forget the phone number. Don't forget the phone number. Russ, phone number. That's up here, Sean, believe me. All right, so I guess COVID's rearing its ugly head again.
They are saying the numbers are going up. My cousin and I were talking about that today, as a matter of fact, that across Canada, the numbers are going up.
Yeah. Halton reports 3 COVID-19 deaths in Oakville and in Burlington this week. And Halton Region reported 3 COVID-19 related deaths over that 7-day span. 2 of them were in Oakville, 1 was in Burlington. And it was the first time in more than a month that there have been fewer than 5 COVID-19 related deaths in a week. Well, there's some good news, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. It's not good news, but...
It's kind of like a pat on the back and a kick in the ass.
That's right. There you go. You get it here and you get it there. Cases rose slightly, 182 lab-confirmed cases over the past week, an average of 26 per day. And that was up from an average of 21 per day the previous week. But at least we don't have to read how many people have COVID today anymore. Remember we used to go through that? And there's 74 people who have COVID today, and there's 94 people. You know, that just got to be so boring and so ridiculous.
Well, that's just the sad part of it all that's still, going on. You got all these young children in the hospital as well. The hospital's just got to be so overwhelmed. It's just got to be brutal. Yeah. And they're actually saying here, because there's outbreaks that have hit Oakville and Georgetown, Halton Region says more COVID-19s have been identified in the region, now 13 known. The latest is at Oakville, Trafalgar, and declared December 2nd, impacting the 7 South Pod 200 area. They're asking that you not visit the hospitals.
And that might be Georgetown as well, too.
Georgetown and Oakville. What I read another story on this one, and it was Georgetown and Oakville that they're saying right now, please keep your visitation to absolute necessary.
Well, we're heading into flu season too, right?
Well, you've got that. You've got flu season going on, and
RPV or whatever that is. Another respiratory.
There's another respiratory one that's really kicking the shit out of people. Pardon me.
She's got it made. Look at the couch she's got over there. Just lounging.
She looks quite cozy over there.
You think she's back there working? She's not. She's on.
She was nesting.
Nesting over there.
She was nesting. So yeah, and again, do you take your child to the hospital when they're having issues, or do you, and then the shelves are really low. My cousin was in Shoppers Drug Mart yesterday, and he said there were sections like 4 feet long that were empty. No cough medicine for the kids and stuff like that everybody's scrambling.
That's becoming
for,
a real problem.
It's becoming a real problem in food stores too. Let me
well,
tell you.
it is. It's affecting
a lot
everybody.
of empty shelves there too.
Well, I'll tell you, the price of lettuce is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it's
It's
insane.
a shortage right now.
It's insane.
I mean, that's just one example, But food,
Get used to it.
if you were spending $60 or something on food, and say you're going in there to spend, you can double it now because it's pretty, yeah. But Food Basics is a pretty good store for prices. I've noticed
Yeah,
that.
they're still pretty good considering.
Yeah.
One
You
of
go
the
into
few.
the big show, I'm not nothing against them. It's just, well, I don't know, nothing against them. You have to wonder, are these people gouging?
Well,
prices?
when you're seeing Loblaws, Metro, who own a lot of these subsidiary stores, are making massive profits. I mean, the profits they've made in the last 2 quarters has been double of any other year. It's insane how much
what
money
really
they're making.
upset me during COVID was the fact that the Walmarts of the world and the big shops could open up, but little ma and pa's couldn't. And that made me sick. I thought to myself, that is just insane. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, they just increased the interest rate again. It's over 4, it's 4 point something percent now. So
Yeah.
it's not getting any easier. So I guess we just have to grin and bear it and glide through it the best we know how.
But I have to say hats off to the medical profession for being the real soldiers in this war. I mean, they're, the nurses and the
I
interns.
bet
and
you
the-
didn't sign up for that when you thought about going to be a nurse or a
that's
doctor
right.
or whatever.
And they're tired.
Absolutely.
We have to get more
And
doctors.
short-staffed,
We have to
more
get
than
more
ever.
doctors in the hospitals
Yeah.
and the emergency rooms. But what is it with that anyway? Why is there 85 people in the waiting room and 1 doctor?
I think it
What the-
was.
Because they've left.
I'm not 100% sure. Somebody will probably write on the thing about this, but I think it was Chrétien. We used to have a rule here that when doctors went to medical school here, they could not move down to the States until their student loans were paid off, because they were usually loans from the government. So in a lot of cases, that was 15 years they'd had to stay here to pay off those loans. So they knew they had doctors here for 15 years. Well, Jean Chrétien got rid of that rule.
Well,
So now they can just take off down to the States.
And
They've
have
only
to-
got to do, I think they've got to do 5 years here, and then they can take off down to the
Well,
States.
the other thing that I know is playing out, having with my friend who's been in mental health, and then in other areas, a lot of them in the hospitals have gone back to private practice or started private practice because it was just getting to be too exhausting in the larger public healthcare system. Let's put it that way.
Makes sense.
So a lot of them have let go of being in the hospital environment and gone to doing other type of practice. They're done. They're exhausted and can't keep up with it anymore.
Well, the doctors are exhausted too in the emerge because
That's what I'm talking
he's
about.
the only
That's what
guy.
I'm talking
Yeah, that's what
about.
I'm saying.
All of
I
them.
totally agree with you. Like they're tired
them.
too. There's not enough of them. And,
Nurses.
no wonder they want to see you in 2 minutes and you're out the door. You know what I mean? But it's something we really have to look at because it's getting bad. And Waste-Wise, of course, big part of Georgetown. We all know Waste-Wise going and I can spend a couple hours in that place, no problem.
Some days, yeah.
Now, the Waste-Wise is downsizing. The Halton Hills Waste Management Service of 3 decades, Waste-Wise is looking for a site relocation. So they're going to be moving. And with the current lease at 12 Armstrong ending on December the 31st, it's coming up the end of this month, the Registered Charity and Reuse Center has been offered an extension to use half of the original space until a suitable location is found. So they have to
They gotta
downsize
do
quite
some
a
cleaning
bit.
out then, yeah.
It should not affect the company's operation, says store manager Amber Zarb Salisbury. We have some smaller sections of some items in the store with some items in the store, but we will remain and operate the same and still be offering free battery, e-waste, and metal recycling to the community and continue to do our textile recycling as well. She added. So
I do see people ask that question a lot too, and that's a good thing you brought up the battery e-waste, and the e-waste to get rid of it there. That's a part of their income.
yeah.
So if you, because I see people on Facebook all day, where can I get rid of batteries? We're gonna go take them to Wastewise.
Take them there.
They love those things. They're like I say, they're part of their income. So
And I remember Debbie when she used to work there. She's Debbie Smart.
Debbie
She's
Smart,
great
yeah.
gal. She's
Yes.
down at
RJ's.
now, running
She
Johnny
did a
Ragged.
great job there.
Amazing.
When they
She's
moved
an amazing
When
gal.
they moved into that building they're in now, man, it was so clean, organized, bang on. It was, you could go in and find whatever. And
Debbie ran a tight ship.
Yes, she
No
did.
doubt about
Did
it.
very well.
And Wastewise must miss her. That's all I have to say.
But downsizing, that's a big chore. Wow. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of. Where are you gonna take it? You know what I mean? You got to take it to the dump because, or unless somebody wants it, or have a huge garage sale.
That could be costly too, taking a lot of that to the dump.
exactly.
So.
But they only have a couple of weeks now. I mean, they were already mid-December.
Yeah.
And they have to be. Well, they don't have to be out of there, do they?
They just have to
They
squeeze
just
it
have
all
to
into
squeeze
half
it
the
all
space.
into half. So they're going to be busy as hell there over the next few weeks.
They're going to be stacking
Getting
and
ready for
packing.
that. But it's a great part of our community, and the same as the one on Guelph Street, the one you were Granny's.
Yeah.
And it's great to have those places in town.
Oh, I love them.
There used to be, when I grew up as a kid, there
It's
used
an
to be
indoor garage sale.
there used to be an old furniture store that I just was fascinated by. I was 8 or 9 in the 60s, called Ye Old X Shop, and it was right at the corner of Cawthron and Lakeshore. And I remember it like it was just, I love stores like that. Old hardware stores, where have they gone,
Well, because
That's
there's
all
so
home
many
hardware.
memories when you go into these places, because the furniture, the knickknacks, whatever.
Yeah.
They've got stuff from 50 years ago, and you go, oh my God, I haven't seen one of those since.
Well,
I
that's
went
like
in. I went into
Memories.
one of those places and saw an old Gerald converter. My God, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh
With
my
the long
God.
wires we used to trip over whilst we were walking through our shag rug, of course,
Yeah.
and in our purple drapes.
It's like when you used to walk into the Ballanfad store. The store in Ballanfad with the old wood floors, the old post
Yeah,
office
the
style.
smell of nails in a hardware store. You know what I mean? The smell of
Yes,
and
nails do
old
have
wood.
an odor,
They
ladies.
do. They do.
They actually do.
Guys can smell
You
nails.
used to go into
damn
Mundell
right.
Lumber, and because they had the big rack of nails, right?
Yeah.
And you used to go in there, and you could smell them as soon as you walked
Well,
in
it's
the
the
door.
metal smell,
It's
right?
that and the oils that are on them.
Yeah. Well,
Still-
if you go to Home Depot, believe it or not, if you're in that
You can.
aisle with them all, not quite as strong, but it's there.
Yeah.
But it's a guy's paradise. You know what I mean? I mean, guys want, gals too, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? I've got my toolboxes and
Well,
all my set things
my daughter
inside.
changes electrical outlets.
Yeah.
Like she can do her own shit
do
around the
I.
house. Her boyfriend's like, "What the hell? How do you know how to do that?" Because my dad showed me. That's why.
There you are.
Not a victimless crime that was going on out there. Halton police smash an alleged retail theft ring. Halton police have arrested 11 people and seized an estimated $2 million worth of stolen property after smashing this organized retail theft ring back on Tuesday, December 2nd or 6th. The arrest followed a 3-month-long investigation dubbed Project Kingfisher. Who comes up with these names? Into an alleged organized retail theft ring that police said was operating in Halton and the surrounding areas. They said a variety of retailers were targeted by this group, which used the name Buy and Sell, not Buy and Sell, Buy and Sell. And so if you were one of these people that were connected with them or contacted by them or whatever, contact Halton Regional Police.
That's something that, there's always something where someone's trying to scam you somewhere.
There's so many, and Christmas always seems to be that ramp up for it.
Well, you know what? In all fairness, you got to look at it overall right now. It's Christmas, but combined with so many people with no money, barely making it by, no food. So a lot of things have been amped up. You're seeing it everywhere now. That the crime is becoming. It's got to have doubled or tripled at this point. It's insane everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
And security on the internet seems to be strange. Like the thing you're helping with my Facebook account, I got a message from Facebook, and it's called Facebook something. I can't remember what it was.
Protection.
Yes, protection or whatever. Because I have so many followers, I have to upgrade my protection. And by the way, I think this is legit. I've looked into it.
I did too.
Leah thinks it's legit. So if you get a message from Facebook about upgrading your security, it's pretty legit because you got to be so careful of fish out there.
Well, we'll find out tonight.
PHISH. Yes, we will when you completely take me offline on Facebook later. Hit the wrong button.
Yeah,
there you go.
You're done.
You're done. All my friends, all my connections.
Sorry, Russ, gotta go now.
I know.
See ya.
It'd be like losing my right arm. Can you imagine losing your Facebook though? That's just terrible. That's my connection to all the friends and family I have, all my workmates, all my old radio buddies that I used to do strange things with, but yeah. So that's what's. So now, the corner of Mountain View and it's Mountain View 9th Line area and 10 Side Road. That's where the light camera, the flash,
the red light camera.
Red light cameras. You be careful there. But I'll tell you, that's a dangerous spot.
It has been over the years very consistently dangerous.
And Halton Regional Police are investigating a crash that happened in Georgetown, and it left one person sent to hospital, as a matter of fact. A two-vehicle crash happened last Sunday, December the 4th, around 9 in the evening at the intersection of 10 Side Road and Mountain View Road South, according to Constable Ryan Anderson. Anderson added that one person was transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. I drove through that area. That was a mess. I kind of figured someone was.
Yeah, there were a lot of people posting on social media about it as well, and what are all the fire trucks doing there? Well, it's usually
an accident.
Usually means an accident. So
9th Line, the thing that worries me about 9th Line is that only two lanes, one going south, one coming north. And the idiots that want to pass, that little hill just before you hit the 5 Side Road?
Yeah.
So many people want to pass when they're on that hill.
I know.
On the solid line. And that's how so many deaths have happened over the years.
And the other thing they need to be doing, and getting into our next story about the new mayor we have in town, is bringing back mandatory snow fencing.
Yeah.
Those areas like 9th Line you're talking about, just south of 10th Side Road, that's a massive, wide open field.
That whole area, like Trafalgar too,
absolutely
going down.
Brutal over there. So
did we have snow fencing at one time?
Yep,
we did.
Yeah.
When?
Like I had it for a long time. You did it for years and years, and all of a sudden they changed that law for some stupid reason. Let's put everybody's lives in jeopardy and change this rule because it was mandatory that the farmers had to put up snow fencing or hedging, one or the other. So,
I still think the scariest spot in Halton Hills is Silver Creek Hill, man.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it's just.
My son had an accident there and lost his car in a ditch. The car was a write-off.
There you go. I mean, in certain weather conditions, it's brutal there.
Oh, yeah?
It really is.
That's when it was. It was a complete whiteout.
Yeah.
When it happened.
And, the other night I told you I was out in the fog. I had to pull into Silver Creek gas station and sit there for a few minutes and get my bearings because I didn't know where I was. So, you're driving, blowing snow, but fog as well this time of year.
It's just as nasty.
It's just as nasty. You can't see a thing.
And when you're out in it, people stop or don't go out. You don't really need that bag of milk or you don't really need that loaf of bread. Make something else and don't go out.
Remember the last, I guess you were sleeping maybe, but it was between like 11 at night and 6 in the morning there one night last week. And it was an ice storm. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we had ice everywhere. I went to the airport that morning, and people were driving by me. I'm doing 80, okay? I'm in the middle, okay? You don't want to do any more than 80 when there's an ice storm going on, and you get in your rut, Do you know how many people I saw pass me? Just crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts. And I thought to myself, there's going to be an accident here this morning, and sure enough, I come around the corner at Dixie, and there's one under the truck. There's another one, and then I passed that one, and there was another one coming back this way. People, slow down.
Yeah.
Where are you going so fast? Like, I'm talking ice conditions.
Oh yeah, I was out in it because I got called out.
Yeah, well, you're
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And
that was nasty ice. That was black
brutal.
ice we had.
Yeah, I had to lay salt, so it was it was very nasty. And again, you're right. Like people coming up behind me, and I'm trying to do my job, and they're getting mad at me. I'm trying to save your life, man. But you want to drive like a bloody idiot.
People have no patience anymore. And I don't even know if I can say it's all young guys because I know where I'm living now. there's a lot of young guys, and they just in and out and in and out, worse than ever. That you see that now. It's insane, but it's everyone. Nobody has patience. It's like that one extra car in front makes all the difference in the world for your time.
I think the driving conditions now, compared to 20 years ago, are 100% worse.
Oh, God, yeah.
Just because people drive like idiots.
Well, you have that entitlement mentality.
Yeah.
I'm entitled to do whatever the hell I want.
Or black truck syndrome. If you buy a black truck, you have to sign a form with the devil saying that you're going to be an asshole for the rest of your life on the road.
Or a BMW.
Everyone with a black truck or a BMW, you know. My buddy has a black truck. He says, I have to drive that way. I have a black truck. Okay.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So it is official now. We have a new mayor in Halton Hills. Mayor Ann Lawler aims to reinforce Halton Hills' character through its development. Protecting the town's character amid the development is her top priority, and she wants to keep it as small town living at its best. It's a Halton Hills reality, and she aims to uphold it into the future. People feel very strong connections to where they live, and I think the ways we are able to do that in Halton Hills is because we have a small neighborhoods that are very cohesive. It's really important to maintain those neighborhoods and recognize they are separate and distinct, and that's a lot of what makes them strong, she added as well. With former Rick Bennett's retirement and after serving as town councilor for 12 years, Lawler, an avid community volunteer, Halton Hills resident of 4 decades, stepped up to the mayoral race. So we wish her luck. Bring back snow fences. Man.
Bring back. We should try and get Ann on the show.
Safety. Bottom line, safety. You put people's lives are in danger driving on these roads with no snow fences. As soon as you cross Winston Churchill on Mayfield, boom, all those farms have snow fences. It's mandatory.
Did they actually go and take the old ones down?
Well, they do every year.
Well, I guess. Well, they have
They
to
do
take them.
they
Okay,
do
I
every
didn't know
year.
that. Now you're teaching me something.
Yeah. No,
You
they
know,
do.
I don't know a lot about snow removal, but you know, only my shovel out back that I have to use once in a while. But so they have to take them down every year.
Well, yeah, they got to farm the fields, so.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right.
they usually want snow fencing. Like when I worked in the town of Milton, they go around and put snow fencing up. So they usually want snow fencing anywhere from 40 to 60 feet away from the road space, so it gives time for that drift to slow down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mathematics in a lot of ways, but it works. They put them up and they work. They do work. Anybody who says snow fencing doesn't work is a tool. And
Can you imagine how bad the conditions would be if the snow fence wasn't there?
exactly.
It'd be even worse.
And you can see it when you go across Mayfield. As soon as you go past Winston Churchill, the drifts are a lot smaller. They're a lot less aggravating for the driver. And then as soon as you go across Winston Churchill coming into Georgetown, that big open field there, boom, there's a massive snowdrift sitting right there. It's like, how do somebody from the town not see this and bring it up and make it a poignant thing? Because like I said, bottom line is you're putting people's safety at risk over something so minute and stupid.
And especially, like you say, where snow fences are needed in outlying areas.
Absolutely. It's, even along Highway 7, just past Cedar Springs.
Trafalgar Road. Same
Yeah,
thing.
once you get up in between 6th line and 4th line, the snow drifting that goes across that road is atrocious, man.
It is.
And all it takes is a bloody snow fence. But for some reason, somebody in the town said, "Oh, we don't need that. What do we need that for? Let's have a lawsuit instead."
Yeah.
Because you can actually go after the town. If you have an accident because of that snowdrift, you can go to the town and you will get reimbursed.
Did you ever see what grinds my gears? A picture
yeah.
of Peter. I like putting that up there once in a while.
Peter
Because,
Griffin?
it's like, I don't want to be a Karen or a Chad.
No.
But
this is safety. This is purely.
And I put the grind my gears up about these road surfacing there at Sinclair and Guelph, which the day after I put that up there,
It was done.
it was done. And the day after, Georgetown South, Hungry Hollow, we now have a bridge.
Yeah.
We now have a bridge that goes 2 ways with 4 lanes. 4
I know.
lanes.
We got spoiled there for a while. They took it away. I guess we were bad.
Oh, it caused some fights on Mountain View, people trying to merge.
Oh, yeah. Again. again, the driving is just, and I drive a huge truck. It's a big truck. So if you're going to hit me...
Is it a black truck?
No, it's not. It's pure
Just
white.
wondering.
But you're going to hit me. You're going to do a lot more damage to your car than you're going to do to my truck. So
That's right. Pro Hockey
Yeah.
Heroes. Eh?
we're going to go to this one this year. So I've been in touch with them.
Yeah. Is Barks coming to this one?
No.
No, he's not at this one. Hey, is this your story or mine?
No,
I've
you go
lost
for it.
Total. I'm totally out of it, as per usual. The Pro Hockey Heroes will be returning to Georgetown. They're coming in March.
It's a lot of fun.
The team of former NHL players will face off against our very own Halton Hills firefighters at the Mold Masters Sportsplex on Sunday, March the 19th. And we always want to give a thumbs up to our firefighters. They
Absolutely.
are the greatest.
Love the firefighters.
The game will be a fundraiser for the Canadian Cancer Society. Last year's Pro Hockey Heroes team included former Toronto Maple Leaf captains Wendell Clark and Ricky Vive,
Yep.
and as well as Gary Lehman, Bernie Nichols, and Dave McElwain. Remember him? Dave McElwain.
I met them all last year.
Yeah, McElwain.
I went last year. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it was a COVID thing going on at the time. So not a great turnout, but it was great meeting all the guys, and even got to meet Nick Antropov, and got a jersey with, now it's up to 27 signatures on it.
Oh yeah, you've still got that, eh? Well, of course you do.
And you don't get rid of something like that.
No.
And especially, Sittler right there in the middle of the crest too as well. So, we've got Sittler, Colton Orr on there, and then when I went and
Well, you and I
did
both
this.
met Daryl Sittler.
Yeah.
I mean, what a nice guy that guy is, man.
just a sweetheart of a guy, but him and Colton, they were great actually.
Yeah, they were.
that was
Surprised how big
a
Colton was.
fun day, man. I got
That was
tell
one
you.
of the best days I've ever had.
Yeah, that was when Rogers Hometown Hockey came, and it's sad to say they're not doing that anymore, eh? They're not doing the show, the Rogers Hometown Hockey anymore.
So
we're very privileged. We were one of the towns that got picked.
But you know what? That's a sad case because that was a very good show.
I loved it.
And it used to bring communities out.
Absolutely, like what we saw there that weekend was amazing. It was a great community event.
Well, the thing about hockey in Canada is it's born in local communities like ours, and Hearst, Ontario, and Nanaimo, BC, and Trois-Rivières, Quebec. It's hockey is a part of our fabric here. That's why going to a local hockey game is so important, and I'll get to that later.
And my family got some really cool news. Is my cousin's daughter is been asked to try out for the under-18 Canadian women's hockey team to go to the next Olympics.
Good for her. Oh, we're very proud of her. What's her name?
Way to go, Phoenix.
Phoenix. That's a great name. I love that name.
She and Todd and I both said she gets on that team. We're booking some flights, baby, because we'll be in the stands. Well, if the tournament coming up, I think he said the tournament's coming up in March, which is I think it's a 10 teams, Swedes, Finns, and all that, and that's out in Edmonton. So that'll be their first under-18 game, or her first under-18 game for the Canadian national women's team. So
is she local around here, or does she live in the
up
GTA?
What the hell is it? Schaumburg. She lives in Schaumburg.
Pretty close.
So
Good girl.
yeah,
Go get
very
'em.
cool. She's committed, and she's even looking at a couple colleges in Boston to go to on a hockey scholarship. So
Nobody loves that story more than me. I just love local and kids getting involved.
absolutely,
And there's so
especially
many-
when you hear what most kids are doing these days. I've got to keep rolling here. Knox Church provides an overnight refuge. I saw this. This is a cool story. For those with nowhere to stay in Georgetown, and we've been seeing a few of them around here lately. It was an image Reverend Steve Boos couldn't get out of his mind. Told a young man desperately trying to find an outlet to plug in a hairdryer to warm his feet. Boos couldn't imagine having to do such crazy lengths just to stay warm. And this wasn't downtown Toronto. This was right here in Georgetown.
That's the fact that Steve and the gang at Knox Church have have come forward, and because that really, you know, I mean, you don't want to see somebody
No.
at 8
That's
o'clock
hard
in the
to watch.
morning
Yeah.
with a bed sprawled out on the lawn at St. George's Church.
Well, I was even
Can you imagine that?
the
having
Bank
a
of
life like that?
Montreal in Acton there. I went in to the instant teller, and there was a fella taking.
That's where they're going now.
Yeah,
They're
well,
taking-
you know,
they're
they
taking the
don't
rubber-
have anywhere to go.
They're taking the rubber mat off the floor and wrapping themselves in it.
That's where they're going. They'll leave their stuff outside the door in a lot of cases, whatever, you know, but that's where they go and sit.
And they
in
also,
the-
I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of them sleeping in Remembrance Park too, on the benches in there. But you know, and such a kind man.
Oh, great
Steve
job!
Goose
I give
over
him
at Knox.
again 2 thumbs up there.
Oh,
Like,
you know,
dude.
get these people. These are our people. These are our local people, community people. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. And
There's a
they're
reason
outside.
they're sticking around here, right?
There's kids living in the, well, I'm not going to say where, but living
Yeah.
in the woods around here
Yep.
that nobody knows about. And it's sad. And, you know, and one guy, his feet were so sore because he had to wear the same socks every day.
Yeah, which is very
Stuff like
unhealthy.
that.
That
Stuff-
is so unhealthy.
Stuff like that you take for granted when you're you know, in a normal situation. You go out and buy another pair of socks, but when you're homeless and don't have any money, those socks are the only thing
Yeah.
keeping your feet
And
warm.
usually, a lot of cases, there's a mental health issue there
Yeah.
that's lying in the
or
in
substance
the background
abuse or
you know,
something like that.
and it's so easy for people to just judge people on that. Oh, well,
I don't
they're
judge
crackhead.
anybody, man.
You know, no, there's something broken inside, and they need to get
One
fixed.
thing that pisses me off, and it did happen with me with a homeless person, I tried to help them one day. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say it was a male or female, but she was insulted that I wanted to help her. Come on. What the hell is that? I'm buying you a cup of coffee. I don't want, you know, if you're going to be homeless, don't have that attitude.
Yeah, 'cause
or
that's-
you're going to be homeless forever.
and you're going to be
You
hungry.
know, and there's people actually out there that would like to help you.
But again, comes down to that mental health issue problem,
Yeah.
right? So,
And it's something that I'm glad, because I have noticed it's been growing lately. You know, a lot of homeless people, you know,
Gonna get worse, yeah.
there was 1 or 2 before, now there's about 5 or 6 or 7 of them out there. And,
Yeah.
but there's stuff going on this Saturday. And Royal Canadian Legion Georgetown monthly breakfast, and that happens December the 10th, which is Saturday from 8 to 11 a.m. Come enjoy a full breakfast for $8, including pea meal, bacon, and/or sausage with eggs, hash browns,
I think I'm
beans,
I'm
toast,
going to that tomorrow. Actually.
coffee, tea, or
For
juice.
$8?
Oh, plus you get to have breakfast with Santa. Looking for a lighter breakfast? Well, breakfast sandwiches on an English muffin, on a pea meal. Oh my God, they're making me so hungry reading all this stuff. Pea meal, bacon. But anyway, Royal Canadian Legion monthly breakfast, and then you got the breakfast with Santa at the Legion.
Absolutely. Also Saturday from 2 till 6 p.m. Check out Tommy's Bar and Grill. The Acton City Limits Band is there. House band's going to be there for an open stage jam. Bring your guitar, your drums, whatever.
Acton is such a music town.
Oh God, yeah. And Matthew Bunt from Wicked Truth is hosting this weekend for a Christmas celebration, kind of. So I'm sure there will be some caroling going on
Matthew
there as
is
well.
very, very creative. He's wonderful on stage too. Such an
he's a
energetic guy.
Great guy. I love playing with
Great
him. We always
musician,
have
too.
fun. Again, on December 10th, Saturday, from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. at the Real Canadian Superstore here in Georgetown. A group of local volunteers have stepped up to organize a major holiday food drive for the Georgetown Bread Basket. Most items needed including things like pudding cups, jam, canned salmon, canned pasta, baked brown beans, sugar, hamburger helper, cooking oil, juice boxes, cookies, crackers, sidekicks, pasta, instant potatoes, and of course, toilet paper.
I don't understand, but toilet paper, okay. Yeah. Don't understand the toilet paper part.
No,
of it, but,
don't get it.
Of course, this is a holiday time of year, Christmas time, New Year's. Don't forget the food banks locally active in Georgetown. And the Georgetown Raiders hammered the Brantford 99ers 6-2 on Thursday evening. Next home game is Saturday, 5:30 p.m. against Collingwood. I'm a big Johnny Mead fan.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Mead came to us, the Raiders, early in the season, and he is just, if you watch, now I love the Raiders, you know that, just as much as the Leafs, they're my team. Chittenden is an amazing player as well.
Yes.
Scores so many goals, but Johnny Mead is in the middle of everything.
He's a grinder.
He's a grinder, and
Yeah.
he you know, This guy might hit the NHL.
Right.
He's just
I always love to see that.
dynamic, and it's there's nothing better than watching a hockey game in your hometown on a Saturday night with your town.
Exactly.
And bring cowbells, bring your dinner jackets if you have them, and these are dinner jackets, or your.
Anything to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, let's make some noise and let the guys know we love them, because they're playing Collingwood on Saturday night, and we've won. I think it's we've only lost one game in the last 12 or 13.
Something like that. Yeah.
That was against the Burlington Cougars that night I was there, and they played well. That could have gone either way. So we're heading into the playoffs, and we are on fire right now. And hello
Good
to
job,
Aaron
boys.
Nagy and
Yeah.
the gang over at the Georgetown Raiders. And thank you for making it 5:30 instead of 7:30 every Saturday night. We got to get out of here. We're running out of time. Thank you so much. Max
Jeff.
Tires, don't forget, Max Tires. 905-873-902-90. What is it?
873-9255, and don't you forget it.
I know. And of course, what was it we have to say at the end of the show?
Now you put me on the spot. Community is
Community.
I've got it. Community is driven by community. You navigate.
We drive.
Rock on, baby.
Lakin rocked it, baby.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. For Big Daddy Russ Horton, I'm Lee Lakin, Leah Lywood. Have a great weekend. There's lots of events to do. Check out all the wonderful things tomorrow. You can check them out on our Facebook page. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in, and have yourself a great week. That's the best one that way you've done.
Yeah, it's not bad. Kind of hanging on to every note.